Hi everybody, it's Chris. Welcome back to the Evermore YouTube channel. We're back with another Rumour Has It video. The window may not be open yet, but obviously Newcastle United are being linked to a lot of players, especially with this World Cup kicking off today. There'll be loads of links to players, I'm sure, in the coming weeks, and we're going to make sure we cover as many of it as we can for you. So we're going to get stuck into a couple of players in a minute. Just before we do a little bit of housekeeping, if you haven't already, please click that like and subscribe button. We'd love you to come and join us. We're on about 2,060 subscribers now, I think. So a few more, you hit that button over the last couple of weeks. Really appreciate it. All free content here. We don't charge anybody for this. Obviously, with the World Cup coming on and Newcastle United on a break, we are still trying to bring you as much content as we possibly can. So make sure you tune to the channel, guys, and we'll get stuck in with little pop-up videos just like this. So who we're talking about today? We're talking about two Bundesliga players. One is fresh links, and the other one is a bit of a kind of a resurfacing of a previous link. Never seems to go away. But we're going to get stuck into the new one first and foremost, which is this fella right here, Marcus Thuram. Sound familiar? Yes, it should do. He has a very famous dad, Lilian Thuram, for any football fans of my age and my generation. It was an absolutely brilliant centre-half for France, World Cup winner. I played for Juventus, Barcelona, obviously, World Cup winning centre-half. But his son, Marcus, is a really, really handy centre-forward as it goes. He's not a defender like his dad. He's a big, strong lad, though, very much like his dad. 25 years old, currently plays for Monchengladbach, as you can see there. Very talented player, big, strong, great close control, can roll a player, very, very skillful, draws a lot of fouls, wins a lot of free kicks, as Mark's put there in the key stats. You can see dribbling, finishing, very, very composed in the box, short passing as well. Does some great 1-2s, pops it off, makes runs. Not brilliant in the air. It has scored a few headers this season, though. But a very, very talented footballer. So we're going to get stuck into how he's doing this season. And obviously we'll look at his percentiles there in a minute. But this came out, tin hat on here. This is coming, the links have come in from The Sun, which, yeah, you can quite often not hang your hat on that, unfortunately. But it does say that ourselves, Liverpool, Arsenal and Spurs are very keen on Marcus Thuram, looking to make some moves this January window. He is out of contract, so he will be free to talk to clubs outside of Germany from January and tie up a move. So this could very well be a cracking bit of business if Newcastle United can pull this one off. But just looking at kind of how he's doing this season, Marcus, he had a bit of a poor season last season. I think in 21 games he only scored 3 goals, but predominantly he was pushed out wide as a winger, and it wasn't quite working for him. The manager's come in this season. It's actually ex-Norwich manager Daniel Farke, the evil Stephen Henry, for anyone who remembers that reference from many moons ago. We did I think they show in our previous guys, but he's grabbed a hold of Marcus Thuram, played him through the middle, and it's been a masterstroke really, because he in 15 Bundesliga games he's got 10 goals and 3 assists. He scored in the cup as well, so all in all he's got 13 goals in 17 games. So he's absolutely on fire at the moment. Everything goes through him at Gladbach. You can see from his stats there and how he compares to Callum Wilson on the radar on the right-hand side. So looking at his goals per game ratio, he's in the 77th percentile, 0.53 per 90 minutes across the 5 leagues in Europe. His XG is really high on 85%. You can see his shots and his shots on target. So he's averaging about 3.5 shots a game. So he's in the 90th percentile, and his shots on target is nearly 50% of what he hits is on target. So he's in the 90th percentile as well. And you can see his dribble completions there. He's up in the 83 percentile. So there's no real concerns when you're looking at Marcus's stats here in terms of, what kind of a player he is. You can see the heat map there, especially since Farke's got a hold of him. He's a lot more central. He's a lot more playing in between the width of the posts. But a very, very talented footballer, 100%, and a great age as well, 25 years old, very much kind of in the to trigger happy with the button there, very much in the mold of a kind of a Bruno, of a Botman type, a young, exciting player, somebody who's caught a lot of interest across Europe and across some of the big teams in Europe. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below, where you think Marcus would be a good signing. Personally, I think he'd be a great signing. We all know how amazing Callum Wilson is. He's not getting any younger. He's 30 now. Obviously, he's at the World Cup. We wish Callum well. Hope he comes back in good shape. Obviously, we've got Alexander Isak to come back as well from striking berth, which would be absolutely brilliant. But Chris Wood's already showed he can't cut the mustard. So if you can get somebody like Marcus Thuram in that squad, as a third striker, and you had a choice to choose from Wilson, Thuram, and Isak. I mean, that's a hell of an upgrade from what we had previously in terms of Dwight Gale, Chris Wood, and Callum Wilson. It's an unbelievable upgrade. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below, whether you think Marcus would be a good sign. I do personally. I think he's a really good player. I think a player under Eddie Howe could just get better and better. We've seen what Eddie Howe can do with players. And I think Marcus is already a very good player. He's in the French squad as well. So if you want to check him out, obviously France are in action in the World Cup this coming week. Marcus will be in the squad. I don't know how much game time he may or may not get, but with Benzema apparently being injured, he might get more game time than we think. So make sure you check out the French squad, guys. Let us know what you guys think in the comments to this video of Marcus when you do see him have a cameo. I'm very excited to see how he does in this World Cup. And yeah, we'll see what happens there. So there is one player who won't be in the French squad, unfortunately, and he missed out. And I think he missed out in a combination of possibly a dip in form and possibly just an oversaturation of players that can play in his position. But it is a player who is consistently linked to us, and those links don't go away, and they resurfaced again just the other day. So why are we talking about this lad again? Mainly because he's mint, really. And I think if we were to sign him in January, it would just take us up to the next level. Of course, we're talking about this lad, Moussa Diaby, yet again. He's a very, very exciting player. Just stop and look at his age for a minute there. He didn't make the French squad. He's 23 years old. He's got way more World Cups ahead of him, way more European Championships ahead of him. He did have a little bit of a dip with Leverkusen. Obviously, plays in the Bundesliga, same as Marcus Thuram. He had a little bit of a dip, but he seems to have come back into play, really, over the last few weeks. I mean, looking at his goals and assists this season, so in 15 games, he's got 6 goals and 3 assists. So it's not too bad if you think about it. I mean, Miggy's on about, he's on 8 goals for us, and we're obviously salivating about Miggy being the second coming of Christ. So yes, the Premier League's probably a better league from your standard, but still pretty good statistics that from Moussa Diaby. You can see from his goals, he's in the 79th percentile. His assists, he's in the 79th percentile. His shots on target, every time this boy takes a shot, he very much gets it on target. He's the 97th percentile. Rapid pace, dangerous player. I saw him score a goal, beautiful counter-attacking goal. I think he started the move, and then he finished the move, and he must have covered, Jesus, about 70 yards of pitch in it seemed like 3 seconds. He was that rapid, honestly. I think they were saying he was the only player who could have kept up with the other player in attack. Name escapes me now. But he was that fast. He was the only player that could keep up. You can see he hugs onto that wide side, that winger position very well. Pulls out full backs, can tuck inside, can be dangerous on that left foot as well. So his key elements, obviously finishing, key passes and long shots. You can see there, in 107 games in total for Leverkusen, he's got 28 goals and 31 assists. And the guy is a fantastic player. You can see how he compares next to Miggy there in the radar on the other side. I mean, he is, I think, in every single aspect going an upgrade on Miggy Almiron. I love Miggy to bits, to be fair, but Diaby can play either side, right or left. So if Diaby is a viable option in January, potentially you could come in and take ASM's position. Maddison links don't go away either. So I think these are the two players that we really feel, if we're in and around the position that we are in now, 3rd place, 4th place, these two lads could really take us to that next level in terms of pushing for those Champions League positions. And it'll be really interesting to see where the club go, especially the likes of Marcus Thuram being linked, if Diaby and Maddison are being linked. The club is already, I think, way ahead of schedule in terms of where it wants to be. So if you could bring these kind of players in, I mean, good God, we could be at one hell of a dangerous aspect, or a dangerous element for the rest of the so-called greedy 6 as well. But we're already playing very well against them with the squad that we have now. But yeah, I think you add Maddison and Diaby to the mix, potentially Marcus Thuram, we could be a serious threat. Next season, I think we're definitely looking at European football, whether it's Champions League or conference. I think Newcastle United definitely going to be a European side, and for that we're going to need a thicker squad and more quality in the squad. So it's great to be seeing us linking to these lads as well. I'm sure there'll be loads more links in the coming weeks as we're watching the World Cup. Mark and I are going to be back with what's going on tonight at 10 o'clock, so make sure you tune in for that. We'll be talking a little bit about the World Cup, talking a bit about the opening game, as crazy as that was. Need to remind the Qataris of the offside rule. Talk a little bit about the England game as well. I'm sure we'll have seen Kieran Trippier have a game. Potentially Callum Wilson have a little cameo as well. So make sure you tune in, guys. As I mentioned at the start, if you haven't already, just smash that button. And also, if you can, drop a like on this video. It really helps us push the videos on the channel as well. So this is Chris signing off for now. We'll be back with another Rumour Has It soon enough. Let's keep supporting that team. We'll call United, and we'll catch you later. Cheers.